Space, the final frontier, forever expanding. We are merely a single grain of sand within the vast scope of the universe. Earth, the planet of dirt and water, only around for 4.5 billion years, and humans only for about 300,000. A very small chunk of time compared to 13.8 billion years ago when the universe itself was created. But how did the universe actually begin? What's going to happen moving forward? The Big Bang Theory, not the TV show, is widely considered the reason for why our universe began. 13.8 billion years ago, a tiny singularity, which is just something extremely small that it can't really be given a number, and it contained all matter ever. And this singularity was very dense and hot and very hot, and for no reason this tiny point just started to expand, which we call time zero. It wasn't an actual bang as the theory implies, little and less exciting unfortunately, but it expanded nonetheless. With all of this expansion, everything became less dense and way cooler. Matter and energy separated into different galaxies, where our galaxy was formed a couple million years later. To this day, 13.8 billion years later, the galaxies are still moving further and further apart from one another. You may be wondering, this is a theory, what proof do we even have? To that, I have two answers. Before I tell you what they are, I have to explain something called a Doppler effect. A Doppler effect is the idea that waves, light waves and sound waves, can be extended or compressed. The more, quote, blue, the more compressed the wave is, and the more, quote, red, the more extended the wave will be. This would be very important when talking about the redshift. The redshift is light from galaxies appearing more red than the color it originally was. When the light comes from other galaxies, the wavelength is stretched really far. Since, remember, we're always moving further away from other galaxies. If this light that came from one galaxy was, for example, yellow, it travels until it finally reaches our galaxy, and this light will now appear more red to scientists that are now seeing this light. Now, the second piece of evidence that we have for the Big Bang is something called cosmic background radiation. It's very similar to that of the redshift, except for light coming from different galaxies, the light here comes from the beginning of the universe, or time zero. Only now is the energy reaching us, since as I have explained, the universe just keeps on expanding, so this energy is extremely redshifted, to the point where it is no longer on the visible spectrum. This energy is now radio waves, so it's so stretched out that we can only hear it. So now we have an understanding of how the universe began, but what now? What's going to happen to our universe? That's a question that we just aren't sure of yet. It could expand forever, it could expand to a certain extent and then just simply stop, or it could stop expanding, then begin to collapse. One of the scariest ends of our universe is something called the Big Rip. Scientists believe that there's something called dark energy, which they don't really know what it is. They believe that it's something that causes the expansion of the universe, but in this hypothetical scenario, dark energy is something that grows in intensity, meaning that it could isolate galaxies and essentially rip them apart, leading to the death of the universe. Now, this would be horrifying to see happen, but it's likely not to happen for a very, very, very long time, if it even does at all. Alright, yeah, that took a dark turn, but there you have it, the Big Bang Theory. From the very beginning to the universe, to the possibility of the end of it. All us humans can do now is to live our lives to the best of our abilities. Thank you for listening.